went to the press conference. Deontay didn't make it, so like always, I'm his third eye. I'm his head trainer, and I got his back, so I came here to support the cause. I'm looking forward to Robert Helenius coming with everything he's got. He's a very underrated heavyweight. He's a very deceiving heavyweight. He's strong. He's deceivingly fast. I've seen him hurt people in close quarters. I've seen him hurt people long range. He has a great IQ. He's awkward. He looks slow, but he's really not. He's not a gym fighter. We sparred him tons of times, but he's not good in sparring. He's good when it's time to be good, and that's under the lights. So it's a very dangerous fight, and it's a very dangerous fight coming off of him having 2 good wins. So for Deontay to pick this guy for his first fight back, it says a lot about Deontay and the mission that he's on, and him believing in high-level matchmaking in this division. That's that New York shit. That's what I'm talking about. It goes to show that he believes in high-level matchmaking, and that's what keeps boxing alive. High-level matchmaking, not just regular fights. People want to, if they want people to stay behind boxing and doesn't want the UFC to overhaul boxing, matchmaking like this have to continue to go on. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of slack for that, because most people I'm going to get slack from that from is people that don't know Robert Helenius the way I do. I was supposed to fight him before. I've been in tons of camps with him before. I film studied him for the last probably 10, 12 years. And this is another thing that people have to keep in mind. There's an interview that has been going around ever since the great late Emmanuel Stewart passed away. And in that interview, Emmanuel Stewart said, if I had to pick 2 guys that's great, I would say Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury is the future. In that same interview, he said there's another guy named Robert Helenius. But if I had to pick, I would pick Deontay and Fury. But there's another guy named Robert Helenius. Emmanuel Stewart, fuck what I'm saying. Emmanuel Stewart said that this guy was the real deal. Years later, we're right here fighting him at the Barclays in October 15th. And it's a dangerous fight, and Deontay is preparing for such as a dangerous fight. And what we're doing, I believe Deontay should take him out surgically with tons of humility, and I'm looking for him to make a great statement.
Was it your idea to have Deontay kind of strip away a lot of the muscle that he had put on going into the Tyson Fury fight?
A lot of people were saying Deontay seemed so tired in the trilogy. Well, Deontay never was that big ever in a fight before. So once again, you got to give him credit for trying things. He wanted to put some bulk on so he didn't just get pushed around. Bulk came on. He had good moments in the fight. Obviously, he got tired. The bulk probably wore on him a little bit. I'm not, as much as I train him, as close as I am to him, I'm not in the ring with him. I can't tell you how he's feeling in the ring. But like you guys and like boxing people, if we had to add things up and say, hold on, this is the biggest he ever been, but this is the most tiredest I've ever seen him this early. 1 + 1 is 2. You know what I mean? And that's just like, that just goes with that. Like, you know what I mean? I think the weight may have been a factor, maybe not. But if I had to bet on it, I would say him being as big as he was for that fight and him looking as tired as he did to most people, maybe the weight did have a factor. But either way, as you can tell, that so-called wrong has been made right, because when you look at him now, he's lean and mean.
Does a part of you kind of want to see Usyk defeat Tyson Fury, only because if Tyson was to win the fight, he's undisputed. They've already had 3 fights. It's highly unlikely that they have a 4th. Right. So if Usyk wins, then it's like, okay, that's
like fresh.
It's fresh. Yeah, it's a new experience. So it's like, are you kind of rooting for Usyk so you can get that fight?
I wouldn't say. My perspective is not like that. I can tell you what my perspective is on Tyson Fury fight Usyk. I think Usyk has the ability. He has the IQ. He has the underrated strength. He has an incredible foundation to beat Tyson Fury. So if that did happen, I just look at it like that's just the cards that was dealt. If Usyk beat him, if Fury wins, then Fury wins. Either way, I just believe that Deontay is big time boxing. A lot of people saying there's a lot of names out there for the fight. No, not really. It's not. When you're a big time fighter like that, I don't consider all of them. He fighting Robert Helenius for his first fight back. He coming off of 2 losses, correct? Robert Helenius is coming off of his 2 biggest wins. The risk. This goes back to the risk that Deontay is always willing to take. the risk when Ortiz wasn't his mandatory. And he took that, and the fight was so good that Deontay said, let's do it again. Ortiz wasn't his mandatory. He's a risk-taking fighter. I don't care what no promoters say, what no fighters say. I only go off of data-based facts. He's a risk-taking. The trilogy, he was taking risks. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, if Usyk win, I would love to see Deontay fight Usyk. I actually think as far as what it takes to beat Usyk, in my opinion, is not the Fury style. It's not the Fury effect. I think if you don't have a one-hitter quitter to get him out of me and put him out cold, I don't think you beat him.
So does that